The woman was clearly the #1 champion in archery, yet she had to work as an ordinary janitor at the archery hall. She thought she would live a quiet life from then on, but what she never expected was that she would reveal her true skills the day before the World Archery Competition. And everything has to be traced back to the day before, because just one day earlier, the woman was still at the World Archery Championship, competing as a defending champion. Just as she used her own original shooting technique to win the championship once again, she was framed by the other competitors. The woman, who thought she would surely die, opened her eyes again and discovered she was still inside the archery hall. While she was feeling confused about it, the next second, she saw the time on the wall. Only then did the woman realize that she had traveled 20 years into the future. But before she could react, a memory suddenly appeared in her mind. After receiving the memory, the woman finally understood that her current identity was a janitor at the archery hall. Ever since the woman died 20 years ago, women's archery had gone into decline. Looking at the people arguing in front of her, the woman immediately showed a disappointed expression. She couldn't believe that the archery hall now had fallen into such a difficult situation. Seeing the few people who were about to leave, the woman walked straight to the testing area of the archery hall. Looking at the test targets in front of her, she directly picked up the bow and arrows on the ground. Seeing the arrow pass through all the rings and hit the bullseye, the woman finally showed a satisfied expression. But when she noticed the broken bowstring, she suddenly felt a wave of embarrassment. She couldn't believe the quality of the bows and arrows had become so poor. But before she could explain, she was criticized by the owner of the bow. Just as the woman wanted to explain, 3 men suddenly burst in from outside the door. Hearing their conversation, the woman realized they had come to challenge the archery hall. According to the rules she left in her previous life, the woman knew that if they lost the match, the archery hall would immediately be transferred to the winners. Looking at the arrogant men in front of her, the woman was instantly puzzled, because among the 3 challengers, one of them was her brother from her previous life. Hearing their insults toward women's archery, the archery hall contestants immediately felt a surge of anger. They then wanted to drive the men out of the hall, but her brother refused to give up, even more arrogantly telling them that archery was an exclusive sport for men, and as women, they had no strength to compete with them. Upon hearing this, they immediately wanted to retort, but the woman nearby beat them to it. Hearing the woman say she was also a female archery champion, yet now she refused to let women's archery exist, her brother instantly felt anger and asked for her true identity. But the woman did not answer him. Seeing that they still wanted to drive her away, her brother immediately used the archery hall's sign to threaten them into agreeing to the challenge. Sure enough, hearing that her brother intended to smash the sign, the current hallmaster immediately agreed to the match. But what surprised her was the match format her brother proposed was the hardest 3-stage test. If the contestants' archery wasn't strong enough, they could possibly die directly in the 3rd stage. No matter how shocked they were, the match still began. The first stage they had to go through was to shoot arrows without tips through the 7 targets in front of them. Watching the contestants succeed in one try, the second in command of the archery hall immediately stepped forward to participate in the first round. With just 1 arrow, he shot the arrow without a tip through all the targets and lodged it firmly into the wall behind the targets. Seeing them win the first round, everyone immediately became happy. But before they could celebrate for long, the challenger beside them started the second round. The second round's content was to shoot among falling petals and hit the red petals. There were 10 arrows in total. The more red petals hit, the better the score. When the challenger finished shooting, there were 7 red petals on the target. Just when everyone thought they would win, the woman suddenly stepped forward and boldly declared she would participate in the second round, but was stopped by the hallmaster. Then the woman saw the hallmaster walk onto the field and pick up the bow and arrows to compete. Watching all 10 arrows hit the target, everyone immediately showed a happy expression. But when the arrows were pulled out by the challenger, they realized that the hallmaster had also hit white petals. They lost this round. Just as they wanted to continue to the next round, the rules her brother set made everyone widen their eyes in shock.